The drama surrounding the Cleveland Browns has reached a boiling point so volatile that even the most hardened fans are struggling to process what's unfolding. Reports are flying from every direction that owner, Jimmy Haslam, has held private meetings discussing whether or not to fire head coach Kevin Stefanski after what insiders are calling one of the worst and most humiliating performances in recent Browns history, a horror show of a loss against the New England Patriots. For a franchise that has spent decades trying to outrun its reputation for dysfunction, this feels like déjà vu wrapped in chaos. The air inside the locker room is thick with tension, and whispers are spreading that what happened behind closed doors after that game could define the Browns' future for years to come. It wasn't just a bad loss. It was a full-on meltdown. Players were reportedly yelling at each other, coordinators were pointing fingers, and Stefanski himself looked completely deflated on the sidelines as the Patriots dismantled Cleveland from start to finish. The offense couldn't move the ball, the defense looked lost, and the locker room vibe afterward felt less like disappointment and more like disbelief. Multiple sources have described the atmosphere as nuclear, as if everyone knows something big is about to happen, but no one wants to be the first to say it aloud. That something, according to those same insiders, is Haslam's growing frustration with his head coach. Kevin Stefanski's job security has been shaky before, but this time feels different. Insiders say the loss to New England wasn't just another bad game, it was the final straw. Haslam reportedly met with key members of the front office late into the night, and the tone wasn't about adjustments or bounce-back strategies. It was about accountability. The question wasn't how to fix the problem, it was who to hold responsible. Stefanski, the coach once celebrated as the savior who brought the Browns back to relevance, now finds himself in the crosshairs. What makes the situation even messier is that this isn't just about football performance. It's about control, ego, and the weight of past mistakes that still haunt the organization. Behind the scenes, tension between Stefanski and Haslam has been simmering for months. Stefanski has long wanted full control over personnel decisions, while Haslam has been known to meddle, especially when big names or high-dollar contracts are involved. Add to that the complicated Deshaun Watson saga and the pressure surrounding his massive guaranteed deal, and you've got a perfect storm. The owner wanted results, the coach wanted patience, and now, after the latest disaster, patience is running out. According to several team insiders, Haslam feels betrayed by what he sees as Stefanski's inability to adapt, especially given the talent the Browns have invested so heavily in. What makes this even more shocking is the emotional fallout among the players. Several veterans reportedly walked out of post-game meetings, frustrated with the coaching staff's game plan, particularly on offense. Stefanski's system has been criticized for being too predictable and too rigid, relying on short throws and conservative runs even when the team is trailing by double digits. It's as if the playbook hasn't evolved, and opposing teams know exactly what's coming. The loss to the Patriots exposed every weakness imaginable, and the players know it. A few even hinted to reporters that something needs to change, a not-so-subtle sign that the locker room is losing faith in the coaching direction. Insiders say Haslam didn't mince words when he spoke privately after the game. He reportedly questioned Stefanski's leadership, his relationship with the players, and even his ability to command the locker room. Those in attendance described the mood as cold and final. One source went as far as saying, "You could tell in Jimmy's tone that he was done." This wasn't about fixing things, it was about deciding how to end them. Stefanski, for his part, appeared calm in public interviews, saying the usual lines about staying the course and evaluating everything. But those who know him well say he looked exhausted, like a man who already knows the verdict has been written. What's particularly devastating about this situation is how fast the narrative has flipped. Stefanski was once heralded as the man who restored hope in Cleveland. He guided the Browns to their first playoff win in decades and was named NFL Coach of the Year. But since then, it's been a steady decline, questionable play calling, locker room fractures, and a constant carousel of quarterback uncertainty. Now, with Deshaun Watson's return looming, the organization is staring down the same crossroads it always seems to find itself at: start over again or double down on chaos. The financial stakes make it even uglier. Haslam's massive investment in Watson was supposed to change everything. It was supposed to make Cleveland a contender. Instead, it's become an anchor. The fully guaranteed $230 million contract ties the team's future to a quarterback who has yet to deliver anything close to elite performance. Every bad game, every loss, every locker room blow-up reopens the wound of that decision. Haslam is desperate to justify it, and Stefanski, fair or not, has become the scapegoat. Sources close to the situation say Haslam has already started quietly gauging potential replacements. Names like Jim Harbaugh, Ben Johnson, and even Mike Vrabel have been floated internally as possible fits if Stefanski is let go. The thinking inside Berea is that the team needs a coach who can both manage egos and command respect in a way that Stefanski seemingly no longer can. Players have reportedly grown weary of his even-keeled demeanor, interpreting it as detachment rather than calm leadership. In a locker room, this volatile perception matters, and right now, the perception is that Stefanski has lost the room. But perhaps the most heartbreaking part of this saga is what it says about the Browns as a franchise. Every time they get close to stability, something implodes. Every time it feels like they've found their footing, they trip over their own dysfunction. It's become a vicious cycle. New coaches, new quarterbacks, new promises, and the same results. The loss to the Patriots wasn't just another game. It was a mirror held up to the organization's soul, reflecting the same chaos that's defined it for generations. If Jimmy Haslam decides to pull the trigger, it'll mark yet another reboot for a team that has already been rebuilt a dozen times. Stefanski's tenure, once filled with optimism and discipline, would end not with a bang but with a sigh. A slow unraveling of belief, one ugly Sunday at a time. And as the players clean out their lockers and reporters circle like vultures, one can't help but wonder if this franchise will ever truly escape its past. The story of the Browns has always been one of almost contenders. Almost stable, almost fixed. And as rumors swirl about Haslam's late-night meeting to fire his head coach, the franchise once again stands on the edge of yet another cliff, looking down at the chaos it can't seem to avoid. The real question now is whether Haslam has the courage to break the cycle, or whether the Browns are doomed to repeat it all over again. If you were Jimmy Haslam, would you fire Kevin Stefanski after that Patriots disaster, or give him one last chance to turn things around? And do you think Deshaun Watson can still justify that massive contract? Let me know your thoughts down below. And if you want to stay updated on every twist and turn in the Browns' chaotic season, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a moment.